What's up, my people? Marco with LRK Logistics back again with another video. In this video, we're gonna go over how to dispatch some open deck freight, flatbed, step decks, RGN, double drops, a little specialty freight. We'll get into it a little bit, but stay tuned. We're gonna be doing this on the mobile app because I want it to be for truckers and dispatchers as well. I'm not gonna get too deep in the weeds, but we're gonna learn something today, so stay tuned. Let's go. All right, let's get straight into it. So I use truckstop, internet truckstop, because I mess with, as y'all know, I do open deck freight. I don't really mess with the drive-ins and reefers and all this other stuff, right? So with that being said, I believe internet truckstop is the best load board out there as far as when it comes to open deck freight. All right, now you can use any ones you want. They all are kind of, the same. Internet and DAT is going to be the biggest ones out there. Some are different. They have different, features and all this other stuff like that. But let's just get straight into it. These are some searches I already have out there for some trucks. Some that's mine, some, stuff like that. But let's get straight into it. So let's start off with your typical flatbed. Well, if you have a flatbed, you're gonna, let's look at for Monday. I'm not gonna get too deep into technicalities with the app and all that. You can go on YouTube and get you some real in-depth training. Or maybe if you post a comment and you want me to get deep into it, maybe I'll create a little mini course or something. I don't know. But let's go to flatbed, right? We're just going to do flatbed and flatbed air ride. We're going to make sure we click that. All right, cool. We need to put a destination. I'm from Slidell, Louisiana. That's why you see that. Well, I'm not from Slidell, but I live in Slidell, Louisiana. So let's look at it. All right, cool. 125 miles for the 22nd, which is Monday. As of right now, with no other filters, they have 559 loads within 124 miles. Okay, cool. So I do have the premium load board. I suggest you get the same, but you can start off with the $40 or $50, whatever it is. This is a $150 load board right here. This is the one that I like. I don't like to be limited when it comes to anything. So depending on what you're really looking for, I mean, you can go straight out the gate. I look at rate per mile, right? I'm going to set it to where it's all of the rate per mile, as you can see right here, $13 a mile, $7 a mile, $6 a mile. All right. We're going to, we're going to look at that. Now, just because it's paying so much a mile doesn't mean that it'll pay so much per day. So $750 from New Orleans to Houma, 58 miles, 13 foot long, piece one count. This might be a decent load. Why is that? You can run this short load, right, and then come back and try to pick up a longer load, right? Something like, well, this is a Conestoga, something like, or let's see here. Say you run New Orleans to Houma, and then you can pick up a later on. You could pick up a, let's see here, maybe something like this. This might be a little, where's 10 wide? That's a decent rate for 10 wide going to Oklahoma. It's not that big, but you can run a longer run, right? So first thing first, that's a lot of miles, dead head. Let's start off with 50 miles first, because you do not want to eat up your time on your ELD, your drive time, right? Or you have you're dispatching for a driver. You want to save them as much time as possible. So, this is for a Conestoga, which has curtains around it. Must be 53-foot flatbed Conestoga. Another Conestoga is flatbed. New Orleans to Texarkana, driver must have 8-foot tarps. Load must completely tarp, including skids, core racks, and all that. Going to Texarkana, $3 a mile. This particular load right here is saying 1,200. I would try to get 1,500 out of that. That's a decent load. Texarkana is not the best place to go with a flatbed, but hey, where is right now? This Florida load, I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't go there. Nebraska, I wouldn't touch that. Another Florida, I wouldn't touch that. Arkansas is decent. Odessa, I wouldn't touch that. And the reason why I'm saying, let me explain. Odessa, right? Harvard to Odessa. If you don't live out that way and you're just going home, no need to go out there for $2.55 a mile. I just wouldn't do it, right? And then when you calculate the deadhead 40 miles, you know, that rate is actually going to go down, right? So, you know, that's 863 plus 40 miles deadhead. Let's look at this for a second. 863 plus 40 in deadhead, that's 903. What was that? That was 2,200 on the rate. So you do 2,200 divided by, I think that was, what, 903. So it goes down to 243 a mile. That's not enough to go to Odessa. Odessa is not a great spot coming out. You know, they at least got to pay, you know, for me, my trucks, you know, $350 a mile or something, right? Karn City, not too bad. You can click on the map so you can get a visual of where this is going. You know, it's a little south east of San Antonio. Not going to be. Texas is doing really bad right now, y'all, for flatbeds, so just be careful. Now, this, going to Kentucky, this would be a good load. I would call this a good load. It doesn't say nothing about tarps or anything. $250 a mile, Gulfport to Kentucky. I probably would, when I call these people, I'm going to go in ready to book, right? I'm going to push them for 1,500, but if they don't roll with 1,500, I'm willing to take 1,375. Reason being is because Kentucky is a good spot. And I'm going to just, you know, show you what I mean right quick. Well, where was that going? I don't remember. Where was it going? Let's see if I can find it again. It was going, I know that wasn't the low, but let's just say, okay, Elkton, Kentucky. So let's look at Elkton, Kentucky for a second. Okay. So these are decent lows, Conestoga. And at the time of me shooting this video, this is Sunday. So the low board is dead right now. This 31 that's right here, this 31 loads in the top right corner can actually turn into 131 come tomorrow, which would be Monday, which when they'd be live and everybody's, you know, posting loads or whatever. So don't get confused about that. But, you know, you definitely want to, let's set it up again. Remember, rate per mile. You want to show the highest rate per mile first, because that's how owner-operators make their money, you know, by a higher rate per mile. Don't be so focused on these big paying loads. Like, this is a decent load. Definitely would try to get 1,500 out of them. But Kentucky is a good spot because Kentucky has steel, coils, beams, a lot of flatbed freight. All right. So we're not going to get too deep into that. That's for a flatbed. If I was in a flatbed or dispatching a flatbed, I would try to stay in the northeast corner as much as possible. When I say northeast corner, I'm talking about anything east of Chicago, east of I-55, right? You can come across I-55 if you're going to like St. Louis or something like that. But, you know, if I go across I-50, west of I-55, I only would go to Arkansas and St. Louis, and I would get my butt right back across on the other side north, east of I-55 and stuff like that. Let's take a look at St. Louis, okay? 98 loads. See what I mean? Like, this is showing you on the weekend they have 98 loads, right? You don't want to mess with this. Leave that alone. That's going west. I don't go west. I wouldn't send my drivers west unless they just really want to go west. I wouldn't touch that. You know what I mean? Let's see what they got. Let's see if we can find a decent load. This is okay, Oklahoma, but just remember, this is not too bad. Fuel gets more expensive going on the Northeast. I probably would try to get, I would quote them for 4,000 and let them come down to 37 or something like that, or I would try to actually get as close to 4,000 I can. But with the rates being the way that they are, that's just how I would do it. This is might be a decent load, stuff like that. All right, cool. So that covers the flatbed. Now let's jump into your step decks and drop decks and RGNs and stuff like that. All right, cool. So let's stay in St. Louis. Let's see how much it will change when we change the equipment, okay? So right now, 98 loads. But let's go here and change it to step deck, okay? Let's go down to step deck and step deck oversized, and step deck with loading ramps, right? Now that's 3 different pieces of equipment regarding step decks, but you see how it went down from 98 loads to 59 loads? Okay, understand that this is more of a special piece of equipment. You're moving more into the specialty side. So yes, they will pay more, but the loads will be less most of the time, right? So now we're looking at the rate per mile. Rate per mile is decent, but it's not all of that where it really should be, okay? This is not a bad load. I know it's probably, is looking at like, oh, it's just $650. Well, you probably can get them for 800 or 1,000 and then still load another load going somewhere else that same day. So that if you get them for 800 and get another one for 800 going another 100 and something miles, 200 miles, and you deliver by the next day, that's 1,600, and your rate per mile is $4-5 a mile. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to be so focused on, especially in this market, you don't want to be so focused on running these long loads that's paying not that much. This load is decent, but it's not all of that. You know what I mean? $288 a mile on 1,100 miles. And Monday, it's going to be a Monday, so I wouldn't really be trying to drive so far. I would try to run short hops in the middle of the week, and then like this load, it's not all that, But I would run short hops during the week, and then I would run longer runs over the weekend or something. Texas is definitely bad. Definitely want to, this load should be paying $3 minimum because it's step deck only. So that's when you got them. Hey, look, you call them up. Hey, look, step deck load only. That means more of a specialty load. You get what I'm saying? You can email them, stuff like that. Call them up, hit the call button, call them up instantly. You always want to look at your map if you're not very familiar with where is it going, just to kind of get a visual of what's going on and where where the load is going, right? So that's letting you know right there, okay, It's going to Texas around Port Arthur, a little south of Beaumont. It's not a bad area. It's not too bad. Texas is just not doing too good right now, right? So that's St. Louis. But one of my favorite places, let's go look over there. Baltimore. Oh, okay. Baltimore loads change from, 59 loads to 140 loads. Let's look at how they're looking. 977 miles. Who wouldn't do that? Right? Well, it's 2 drops. See, they'll try to trick you. Look at the load notes. 2 drops. So click off that. Not really interested in that. Some people can go to Canada, not us. So they got a Maryland to New Jersey. That's not too bad. Let's see if it's oversized. Knee tweak, knee ramps, 2 Humvees. Going to Jersey. That's not bad. That's a decent load. I would still try to quote them for 1,500, right? Or a little more. That's a in this market right now, that's a decent load. Remember, you got tolls and everything on that Jersey load now. You got to run toll roads and all this type of stuff. But the more they need, the more you can charge. Twit card, ramps, and a step deck, you might get 15, 16, 1,700 out of them. You know what I mean? So, see that where it says SDRG? That means it's for a step deck or a RGN. Now, this is a wide load. It says permits paid by customer, 8.9. That's not wide, too wide. It's a little bit oversized. 150 miles. I still would try to get 1,500 for it. Look at this. This is overweight. 61,000 pounds. I would try to get more for that. A little bit more. So that's your step decks. Okay. Let's jump off into your RGNs. Now, if you're dispatching a RGN, you are going to set your filters a little bit different. And once again, I'm just doing a quick training, y'all. I can go deep into this, but I'm just gonna go quick into some basics. But if you're dispatching a RGN or you have a RGN, you want to select double drop. Okay. You want to select low bar over dimensional, and you want to select removable gooseneck. That's RGN. And for now, you can do step deck with ramps and all that, but you want to just start off with that. Okay. RGN is a little bit different. All right. You want to, depending on the axles, how many axles is going to depend on how much weight you can haul. All right. So typically you're going to be working, let's just go with something standard that's just a tandem RGN. Most likely it's going to be able to haul up to 60,000 pounds. All right. So you're going to put 60,000. I would leave the length alone for now. Typically, it's going to be 29 in the well, kind of like what it's saying right here, right? But I will leave that alone. Depending on what type of vehicle, how the freight is, it can be longer because it can fit over the back of the RGN. But let's just say with this. Okay, well, let's look at it. 92 miles. Okay, you need a Twic, E-Moto, drive on off, DO in hand. All right, don't really know what they mean by that, but okay. I don't know if they're trying to say cash on delivery or whatever, but yes, 56,000 pounds. So this would be overweight for RGN, okay? But it's 92, miles. I probably would quote them for about 1,500, 2,000 on that. I don't know if it's oversized or anything like that. Here go another one. Just notice how the rate per miles are changing for this trailer, okay? Notice how the rates, are just different. That was actually a step deck load, if y'all remember. This one going to Jersey. All right. So let's find, Baltimore's a good area. These loads are pretty good. Going in that area is light. Doesn't, let's see what the dimensions is. Drill 8, 7 inches, 98. Okay. So that's pretty cool. That's look like a decent load right there. So on and so on and so on, right? So that's overweight. Let's see. Let's look at the big money loads. Let's see what the biggest money load they have. 54,000 pounds, 86 wide, 11 high, 31 long. Yeah, I probably would try 5,000 on that and get as close as I can, or more, because once again, it's overweight. So now you got to get overweight permit, and you got to pay for all the states that you're going through. So, all right. So that was some free training just on a mobile app, mobile edition. If that training was valuable to you, please hit the like button, comment. If you want more training or specific training about load boards and loading open deck freight, getting how to find good paying loads for your open deck freight, let me know in the comments. I'll make more videos, as many as I can, or maybe I can come up with some type of training or something like that. So please let me know. See y'all in a bit. Peace.